Our topic for today was by request. You guys wanted to talk about diets. Some people have been tweeting me some diet stuff. I've been doing a couple different diets over the past, I guess you would say 2 years. So let's talk about this. So this was sent to me. The 16-8 fasting diet explained. Now, you guys know I did a variation of the intermittent fasting. In fact, I actually did this. I did for 16 hours, you don't eat anything. For 8 hours, you do eat stuff, and you can eat whatever you want during those 8 hours. So here's what it says here. What are the benefits? What are the health benefits of fasting? So here's what the article says, which made me feel a little bit better about my experience. Wow, I stumbled over that word. Effortless weight loss isn't one of them, despite what you may have heard. Small studies suggest the 16-8 and any other form of fasting may indeed help people shed a few kilos, but that on the whole, it's not much better for weight loss than calorie restriction, just eating less overall. So what it really is trying to do is to try to limit your calories. It makes you want to just eat a little bit less. And I kind of like that because that's been my experience with intermittent fasting. When I did intermittent fasting, I did not really lose any weight. I gained weight in some cases. Basically, if I was being a little more lax about my diet, I would gain weight. If I was a little more strict about it and careful, I stayed around the same. I did not really lose much weight. I don't think I lost any weight. I think I actually gained weight overall when I did intermittent fasting. And, I'm a short guy, so gaining weight is very easy for me. Losing weight is not horribly hard, but it's hard to lose it and keep it off. I gain it very, very easily. Losing it's not as easy. And, and I think that goes for a lot of people, but, I'm a really short guy, so when I gain it, it shows. When I gain weight, it shows immediately. I don't, because I'm a short guy. Where's it gonna go? It's like there's not a lot of real estate here on this dude's body. Let's just go to his face. Let's go. I guess I don't know. My body, I'm guessing that my face is the hipster neighborhood because that's where all the fucking new weight moves. It's just so this is the hipster neighborhood of my freaking body, and everything's like, let's just move to the face. Hey, where's some new weight? We're going to the face. My face is my body's hipster neighborhood. I bet I could make that into something. I feel like I'm gonna tweak that later. I feel like that's a funny idea maybe that I could tweak. So let's talk about diet specifically. So that's been my experience with intermittent fasting. Now the other things I've done is I went vegan for a little while, and that brings us to present actually. So I'm going to talk about that last. What I'll talk about in between there is the Whole30 diet. So I've done the Whole30 diet multiple times. What that is it's a diet that emphasizes whole foods. Whole foods, not the store, but whole foods, the concept, like fruits, vegetables, meats, and no preservatives, no soy, no like sauces and stuff. Most of them you couldn't have. You could have like herbs and seasoning if it was just, the herb itself, basically. You couldn't have anything processed. You couldn't have any sugar. You couldn't have any, anything like wheat related. You couldn't really have, like, cereal was out, pasta was out, rice was out, which was a killer for me. Potatoes were in, so it wasn't a nix on all carbohydrates. But it was a very strict thing, and you're only supposed to do it for 30 days because it's not healthy to do it indefinitely. It's just too much. You could have basic fruit juices, but nothing that had like high sugars or, you get the idea. So I did that twice, and it's a very difficult diet. For the first 5 or 6 days, the first time I did it, for the first 6 days, I felt like shit. I felt like I wasn't going to make it. Then on the 7th day, I felt fantastic and was able to do the diet, but was pretty happy when it ended. I said, I did the Whole30 diet. On the 7th day, I felt fantastic, almost as fantastic as I felt when I ate pasta again. And the second time I did the Whole30 diet, I still had a positive experience. I felt good, But I decided it was the last time I was going to do the diet for a number of reasons. First of all, it is extremely high protein. You have to eat a lot of animal proteins to do that diet. And so it's incredibly expensive. Like, it's not cheap to do, and it gets a bit much. And a lot of folks that do those types of diets on the regular, the kind of high protein diets, the keto diets, or the Whole30, or variation of those types of diets, it's not crazy uncommon to get some issues with cholesterol. And for me, you can lose a lot of weight. You can do that. But it's also not totally out of the ordinary to have a couple issues with cholesterol. As somebody who heart issues run in his family, I decided I'm not going to do these types of diets anymore. My grandfather had 3 heart attacks. The third one killed him instantly. My other grandfather had a heart attack or 2. My dad has had some heart issues. So I'm susceptible to that. So I was like, you know what? This is going to be my last time doing that diet. My dad also had prostate cancer, so I'm susceptible to that. One of the things that is not a good thing to do as far as prostate health goes is to eat a lot of red meat. You should try to stay away from red meat. So for a number of reasons, I decided the last time I did the Whole30, I was like, okay, this is the last time. I'm cool that I did it. It was overall, like, I'm not, it was a good test. It was a good discipline, but I don't want to do it again. On the Whole30 diet, the second time, I lost 7 pounds. And I think the first time I lost like 4 or 5. So that was my experience there. Now, going vegan. I went vegan, and I'm still doing it. My experience with going vegan for the month. So me and my fiance, we were like, well, let's try it for the month, see what happens. That's like, typically when we try a new diet or try a new eating habit, lifestyle choice, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whenever we try that, we usually do it for a month and then check in. So I checked in yesterday because it was a month, or 2 days ago, excuse me. It was the 4th, was a month. I lost 5 pounds going vegan, and my experience has been overwhelmingly positive. I instantly felt great. And I found that going vegan is actually, in my experience, very easy. Now I'm hyphenate my experience. There's my asterisk, my experience. So look, I live in the Los Angeles area. In my neighborhood alone, there are 3 vegan restaurants. There's a phenomenal vegan pizza place. Buffalo cauliflower is the craze here, so you can get it as easily as you can get actual buffalo wings. So, I'm prefacing that because, I don't know how easy it is in rural areas. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But in my experience, it was very, and I will say this, a lot of the vegan cheese I get from the Target in my neighborhood. Because it's, it's close to me, and they sell vegan mozzarella and stuff like that, and I use that to cook with a lot. Like, I wanted to make a vegan eggplant parmesan. Next, I wanted to do a vegan chicken parmesan with seitan. But anyway, so, I think a lot of grocery stores at this point, like where I live, we have Ralph's and Vaughn's. Both have a lot of vegan food easily available. And the other thing I didn't realize was how many things you can still eat that are, considered vegan. And for me, the big thing was not having to alter my pasta habits at all. I was able to have pasta for the most part. So, the only thing you got to look for is, if there's eggs and stuff, you got to look for that. But admittedly, I wasn't always that militant. I didn't always ask that question. And I do know some vegans that eat eggs. So I know that technically deviates from the rules a little bit. But, so although I didn't eat eggs for the month. So my experience with veganism has been very positive to the point where I'm just still kind of doing it. Me and my fiance both are. Like, she said she kind of wanted to continue, and I was like, yeah, this is going well. I lost 5 pounds, which is almost the same as, I mean, it's a little bit less than when I did the Whole30, but it's been such a better experience. It's been a way better experience. Like infinitely better. Vegan pastries are excellent. I've always liked vegan desserts. Vegan ice cream's great. So I have had an overwhelmingly positive experience with veganism, better than any other. And I know vegan, it's technically not really a diet. I mean, it kind of is, but I've had that's been my best experience so far. With intermittent fasting, it was fine, but the whole idea, I didn't really feel like I was actually doing anything. So in that 8-hour period, I could just eat whatever the hell I wanted. And because I knew I could do that and felt like I was still dieting, I would just be an asshole for those 8 hours. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go get froyo, and then I'm gonna wash it down with a donut because this is a diet. And it's like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. So, and it's not the intermittent fasting diet's fault. It's my fault. Like, it's not like like if you look up stuff on intermittent fasting, it said, asterisk, Ron Placone, be a fucking moron, and go eat pizza, wash it down with frozen yogurt, and then go drink, because you're a fucking moron. You can go do that, Ron Placone. Just have your 16 spot. It doesn't say that. That's on me. That's my fault. So let me go to you guys, see what you guys are saying about your dietary experiences. And again, I'm not trying to impose anything on anybody. I don't judge at all. I'm not trying to be, one of those like I'm not trying to preach at all. You guys wanted to do a dietary segment for me to talk about my experiences, and that's been my experience. One of my big guilty pleasures for most of my life has been deli meat. I've always been a big fan of deli meat for years and years. I'm not going to tell you that I've had tofurkey that tastes just as good as the real thing, because that'd be a freaking lie. But I will tell you that all the vegan cheese I've had is just as good as the real thing, and when you eat it, you don't feel bloated after. I like cheese. I hate the way it makes me feel after I eat it. With vegan cheese, I get all the benefits and none of the drawbacks. I don't feel like shit after. It's healthier. Although a lot of that stuff's not particularly healthy per se, just like the real thing isn't healthy. But it's better. And you don't feel like shit after. So I'm probably just going to buy vegan sliced cheese all the time now, because it tastes just as good. And it also, it's the same price. You can get a container of vegan cheese at the grocery store for about $4. That's how much sliced cheese costs. At least where I live, that's how much it costs. So there you go. And, speaking of tofurkey, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the tofurkey I've had is as good as the real thing. That'd be a fucking lie. But I will tell you that when you get a wrap, you put some tofurkey in, you put some cheese on it, you put some mustard on it, you put some vegan mayo on it, tastes just as good. You're not going to know that you're not eating the real thing. Tastes just like a regular sandwich. Now, if you just have a slice of tofurkey, not going to be just as good. But not in my experience anyway. I haven't tried it all. But in my experience, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you, say it tastes this good. But in a sandwich, it works. All right, what are you guys saying? So that's our diet segment. What's vegan cheese? It's usually made with cashews or something like that. Mick Resistor says, I don't mind vegans or vegetarians. I mind that the vocal minority of them feel the need to constantly proselytize you. Yeah, that is true. And I'm with you there. That's why I'm saying, look, I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm just talking about my personal experience. That was my personal experience. Not trying to impose it on anybody. Daniel, my family is from Wisconsin. Ron, vegan cheese is considered a sin. Daniel, I love cheese. I feel ya, but I love the way I feel after I eat vegan cheese, not after I eat the real thing. I feel like shit when I eat real cheese. Ron, what about an exercise cardio program to accompany your diet? My exercising habits didn't really change. I go to the gym somewhat regularly. I do basic lifting. I do usually an elliptical machine, and then I do sit-ups, like on the sit-up machine. So I don't, for me, it's kind of like I just have to be consistent, but I don't go as hard at the gym as I should. I should go way harder at the gym than I do, but, I'm consistent. I like exercising. It clears my head, and I'm able to watch a hockey game or catch up on some Netflix while I exercise, which is great. The Wi-Fi at my gym's pretty solid, which is groovy. And sometimes if I'm just on the bike, I like to do my reading. Keep in mind the ancient Greeks, they really emphasize expanding your mind and exercising your mind while also exercising your body. That's why the gymnasium and the academy were oftentimes in the same building. We still kind of practice that tradition to this day. A college campus is likely to have a gym on it, same with a high school or whatever. But we don't actually conjoin them, which they kind of did. And I see benefits from that. If you're ever just on a bike, try reading something. You'll find that you just feel good overall. It's like your mind is moving and your body is moving, and you really feel like you're just in a good rhythm. And I'm sure there's more science behind it that can explain it better than my bullshit hippy-dippy explanation. But the premise is there. So let's see. Have to take you out and get the incredible burger. People say it's the best veggie burger ever. If you ever come here, you're referring to New Mexico, Tim, and I am coming. I gotta do that, but I am working on it. And yeah, there's this one vegan place in my neighborhood where they specialize in Beyond Burgers and Beyond Meat burgers, and you build your own burger. And first of all, you can get a pretzel bun. I love pretzels. I know we talked about this. Pretzels is my favorite snack in the world. I eat too many of them in one sitting. We actually have a thing, my fiance and I, where she has to cut me off at number 6. If I ever take it to number 5, she's got to say something. Like, she's got to be like, dude. And I can be like, you're right. I love pretzels. Too much. There's sodium in those things. It's not, it's not a bad snack in moderation. There are way worse snacks one can indulge in. But I really fucking love pretzels. I think it's a Pennsylvania thing. Philly's big on pretzels, so is Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh. So you can get a pretzel bun at this place. So already I was like jizzing in my pants. So, I got a pretzel bun, and then you design your own burger. And they have vegan pepper jack cheese, vegan provolone, vegan American, vegan cheddar. And then they have, the fixins you would want, pickles, tomatoes, obvious, the obvious stuff. And you can design a fuck of a burger. And then they have these buffalo tater tots that are to die for. It's called Real Food. It's called Real Food Daily is the name of the place. So again, I'm open. Like, I'm totally saying, look, I know that helps. Like I know that I'm saying like, oh, like I'm not trying to be like being vegan is so easy. I understand where I live, it's very easy. I can't speak for everybody. Himalayan salt fucking rules. Dana gave a shout out to Himalayan salt. And yeah. Jennifer says, I just can't listen to anything but music while working out. I used to be that way. I totally did. Renee, hello from Denmark. Good to see you. And Mr. Gone, this is a cool shout out. I want to say this. The author of Fight Club, Chuck Palahniuk, said he loves to write at the gym because the blood is flowing and your mind is clear. He's absolutely right. And I will totally tell you, this is kind of funny, Mr. Gone, that you bring this up, because one of the things that really made me do that more was I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Chuck Palahniuk when he talked about that very thing. Chuck Palahniuk, the author of Fight Club and the author of Choke, which is actually my favorite book of his. Choke is a really good book. But anyway, he would talk about how he would like to write in public, and he would like to write in the gym while he was working out, and he would just like write down ideas, record ideas. And as far as sitting down and actually writing, he calls that keyboarding, which I think is really cool. So his whole concept on writing is I need to be engaged in life. I need to be living in it. I can't just sit alone and blah, 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 which I can when it comes to writing. I can do that. Like, I'll just sit at my computer, write jokes or whatever, or write, a script or whatever else. But yeah, that really made me want to read, to read more when I'm at the gym and to engage in that type of stuff more when I'm at the gym. And I still love to listen to music too. I mean, I still love to just, do all that.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you wanna know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your